Hello everyone, I'm Tito again from Kangaroo Study and welcome back to our YouTube channel again. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss this question from NMOS 2022 and this testing us on the divisibility rules. So, without further ado, let us take a look at the question together. Now, in this question, they tell us that how many 8-digit positive integers are there, each of which consists of the digits 0 and 4 only, and is a multiple of 75. So, like we have always said, we always need to identify the key information in the question first. So everyone, what are the key information here? First of all, we know that this number, it must be 8-digit and it's a positive number, which means that the number is greater than 0. So the digits that we can use is only 0 and 4. And we have to ensure that this number is a multiple of 75. So now let's think. Multiples of 75, which also means that this number itself is divisible by 75. But do we have a divisibility rule for 75, everyone? So we're going to realize there is no single rule that's just dedicated to the number 75. But like the question we've done before, for example, let's say if you are asking for a number that's divisible by 2 and also divisible by 3. So in another word, this number is divisible by 1. We're going to notice that this is just asking for a number that's divisible by 2 times 3, which is a number that's divisible by 6. So similarly, right, for the number 6, instead of checking 6 directly, you can split it into 2 times 3. But now, how about 75? How can we split this into numbers that we already know the divisibility rules? So we're going to notice that 75, right, if when we look for the factors, we're going to notice 75 is a multiple of 25. So number 75, actually we can split it into 25 times 3. From there we know that this number, if it is divisible by 75, it must be divisible by what numbers? We can see that this must be divisible by 25 and is divisible by 3. And it happens that we know the divisibility rules of 25 and 3, so we can check for these two rules one by one. Now, let's start by checking the divisibility rule of 25. What type of number are divisible by 25? So we're going to know that this will be the number where the last two digits are divisible by 25. And the next question for us is, what can be the possible last two digits? We can see that if it is divisible by 25, so it can be 0, 0, 25, 50, and 75. So these are possible numbers we can choose for the last two digits. But notice that in this question it says that we can only use the digits 0 and 4. So can we choose all the 4 choices here? Definitely this is not the case. We're going to notice that because we do not have the digit 2, 5, or 7. So this means that 25 cannot be used, 50 cannot be used, and 75 cannot be used. So it means that the last two digits is already fixed. It can only be 0, 0. Now let's check for the other divisibility rules here. This number must also be divisible by 3. So let's think, what type of number is divisible by 3? So we can think that if a number is divisible by 3, we know that the sum of digits of this number, it must be divisible by 3. So divisible by 3, sum of digits is multiple of 3. And notice that we can only use 4 and 0. How do we combine the digits together? So since the number 4, this is not divisible by 3. It's not a multiple of 3. So in order to be a multiple of 3, the number of 4 we have, it must be a multiple of 3. So this means that either we can have 3-digit 4 or we can have 6-digit 4. Then this means that we must discuss two cases here. So the first case is that you have 6 4s and 2 zeros. Now, how do we arrange the 8 digits? So we can see just now we already arrived at the conclusion that the last two digits, it can only be 0, 0. This means that the last two digits are 0, zeros. The other 6 digits will be digit 4. So this number is already fixed. There is only one arrangement here. 6 4s followed by 2 zeros. Then let's move on to case 2. Case 2 is where we have 3-digit 4 and 5-digit zeros. So let's think, if this is the case, how do we arrange the digits? So first of all, let's get the 8 blanks here. Later on, we have to fill in these 8 digits. Now, what are the digits we can already fill in? We can see the last 2 digits just now we say that this must be zeros. So the last 2 digits we can just put 2 zeros. Now, is there any other digit that's also fixed? So we say that for a number, an 8-digit number, first of all, the first thing we have to check is the first digit. It cannot be 0. So this means that the first digit, if it cannot be 0, it can only be the number 4. So the first digit is also fixed. No matter how we change the orders, first digit will always be 4. Now, knowing this means that the only thing we can change is the 5 digits in between. So how can we arrange the digits now? Since we have 3-digit 4, now one of them is already used, so we have 2-digit 4 left and 3-digit zeros left. And they must be filling into these 5 digits here. So of course, now we can check for the possible arrangements. So for these 5 digits in the middle, now of course, when we are listing down the different ways, we must always make sure that we do them in order. This way, we will not miss out any of the case or double counting any of the case here. Let's say we look at the digit 4. We can check first, the 2-digit 4 are both in front. So it can be 44000. Then let's say we make one of the digit 4 to be the first digit and we shift the direction of the other digit 4. So what we can do is we can shift it one place to the right. It can be 40400, or we can shift this digit 4 again. It can be 40040, or we can shift it one more time. It becomes 40004. Now, this is where one of the digit 4 is at the first position. So of course we can shift the position one more time. We can put one of the digit 4 at the second position here. So then it becomes 04400. If we keep this at the second position, then we can shift the position of the other digit 4. So it can be 04040, or you can shift it one more time. It becomes 04004. Then the next case will be the first digit 4 is at the third place. So it will be 00440. Then we can shift the numbers again. It can be 00404. And lastly, is where the 2-digit 4 are at the last 2 positions. So it can be 00044. So altogether, we have 10 different arrangements here. Now, some of you may say that, hey teacher, the listing method is too slow. Hey, we know about combination. So of course, this question, right, if you know about combination method, this will become much easier. You can see that here we have 5 unknown digits. 5 positions we need to put in the digits, and 2 of them will be the digit 0, 3 of them will be the digit 4. So we can just change the question into, there are 5 positions, now we want to choose 2 of the positions, make them into digit 4, the rest of them will be the digit 0. So using the combination method, this would just be 5C2. Out of the 5 positions, select 2 positions for the digit 4. So it will be 5 times 4 over 2 times 1. This is equals to 10 ways as well. So now we can see that altogether, case 1, there's 1 number. Case 2, we can get 10 different numbers. So altogether, it will be 1 plus 10. There are 11 numbers. So 11 is the final answer. So now that we are clear about the question, let's do a quick summary here. In this question, what we can notice is that we are given a number that we do not know about the divisibility rule. So if this is the case, what should we do, everyone? Just like what we did here, right? The number 75, we split it into 25 times 3. So we can split it into the product of 2 numbers that we already know the divisibility rules. And after that, we just have to check the 2 divisibility rules one by one to make sure it satisfies both. And about the divisibility rules that we have talked about in the question, if it is divisible by 25, what type of number are we looking for? This is where the last, so divisible by 3, this sum of digits is divisible by 3. And divisible by 25 is where the last 2 digits of the number are divisible by 25. So now that we're clear about this, I prepare a practice question for you. Once you are done, you can post your answers in the comment section, or you can also contact me directly. So if you want to know more about the training programs and events in our center, you can scan the QR code and join our P4 Math study group. Once again, if you enjoy our video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So until the next time, bye bye.